Hi everyone, I hope you are having an amazing creative day, and if you're not, hopefully this video will get you in the creative mood. So I decided to do this video, and what we're going to be doing in here is talking all about candles and how you get into candle making and creating your own business. So I have a set of questions, and these are all from different subscribers and personal messages that I've received from them asking me exactly how you get into the industry or how you actually start your own business. So hopefully these questions will help you, and in the middle of each question I've actually popped in some images of my candles so that you can see different things that you can do and how each candle doesn't need to be the same. It can be really different and just a little bit unique. So I thought, look, I'll just keep the film rolling so that you can see me making candles in the background, and that way you can see exactly how it is, and that I do everything myself. I don't have anyone else coming to help me. So anyway, for today, without further ado, let's get into a video, and I will show you all about candles, how to make them, the things you need to do, a bit of the business tips in it, and some questions that you really need to think about when you're getting into candle making and you're deciding to get into this as a business. Also, if you would like to give me a thumbs up, make sure you do, if you like my video, of course. And any comments, of course, I answer you back. It's always me. It's never anyone else. And hopefully I can help all of you make some really fun candles and, you know, get your creative spirits just going. Anyway, let's go, as I said, and we'll get on to the questions. It's Rhonda here from Nelson Soapery. Today let's have a bit of a chat video all about beautiful candles. As you can see in front of me, I've been having lots and lots of people asking me questions, and the most important question I get asked is, how do I start my own business? So, and in particular, how do we actually start a candle business? So I thought, since I'm in the middle of making candles, let's talk about candles. So I have my questions to the side. So if I keep looking to the side, I apologize, but you know, obviously I need to write these down, and these are questions that people have asked me. So I'm going to do my best to answer you. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Rhonda. I am a professional soap maker and candle maker in Melbourne, Australia. I have obviously my YouTube channel and also all of the social handles that you can find in my description box and so on. And obviously I have a website and all of the things that you need when you have a professional business. And I do really love to help people and make you all creative and hopefully get you onto the world of thinking about starting your own business or a hobby or something that you can do for yourself. So anyway, let's get started, and I will start with my questions. So the first one is budgets and materials. So I always get asked, you know, how much does it cost? You know, how much do I need? What materials do I need? So let's start with the budget first. Budgets will differ for every single person that is getting into candle making, because remember, we're just talking about candle making at the moment, even though I do sell many other products. So, you know, if you're talking about a budget, you need to ask yourself, do you want to buy in bulk, or do you want to just buy one thing at a time? If your budget is really limited, you can buy one product at a time, you know, like one of these vessels, for instance, or one of these, for instance. You know, these are things that you can buy one thing at a time. The only thing is it costs a lot of money. So to give you an idea, you know, this particular candle jar here, it's just a plain clear candle jar. It is a large one, 400 grams. But this one would cost you $4 per jar. Jars are also called vessels, for those of you that don't know. So $4 for one. But if you bought this in bulk like I do, I buy them per box, and there's 36 in a box. This will come down to about $2.50. So that sort of gives you an idea of, you know, it's like 40% off. I mean, it is such a bargain to buy them in a box, but of course then it costs hundreds of dollars at a time. So, you know, it really just depends on, you know, what you can afford to buy. But, you know, honestly, to set a budget, my advice would be to work out in bulk what it costs. So number one, you need your wax, you need your vessels, you need your wicks that go into it, you need the scent. So the scent is, you know, the smell of the candle. So it might be, you know, a cupcake one or a lemon or, you know, frangipani, whatever you want to do. And you can start with just having 4 scents. I really suggest you start with, you know, really beautiful fruity sort of sweet one. That is very, very popular. If you start with that, a warm sort of vanilla, they're really popular as well. So then you got your 2. They're the big sellers. So they're things that you really need to remember. And one that's a real calming one like lavender, that's always popular, or rose. So then you've got your 3, and then your 4th one might just be something that's unique to your business. So just decide exactly where you want to go. So for me, I have, you know, my fun candles here. Then I'll also have my man's candles here. And then I will have ones like this, which are like botanical ones. And then they sort of have, you know, botanical flowers in, because these are popular as well. And yeah, so anyway, so talking about budget, like I said, so they're the 4 sort of things that you want to do, and then price these ones up to how you can do it. Also, remember, when you're working at a budget, you need to work out the cost of what you want to charge. There is no good charging $10 for a candle that cost you $8 to make, because you're not going to stay in business making only $2. I really suggest that you sit down and have a really big think of your budget and what you can afford going forward, and products. So that leads me into the next question. So the next bit is all about materials. Where do you get your materials? So there are candle suppliers. If you just Google candle suppliers, especially in Australia, the most common ones most people know is a company called Aussie Candles Australia. There's also Pure Candles, Pure Candle Suppliers, and then you also have Aussie Candles, and then Aroma's a really big one as well. So there, you know, quite a few that people know. There are obviously other ones like Heirloom and so on, but if you just Google it and then start to write down what the cost will be, and work out when you buy in bulk the difference, and if you can afford to do that. So, you know, when you're looking at suppliers, you need to figure out your wax, your wicks, your scents, colors, if you're going to be colors into it, and exactly, you know, all the other things that you might need. You might also want to put your candles in a box. Myself, I don't put mine in a box. I did start that way, but the boxes add on a lot of cost, and people just don't want to keep paying. So you need to be realistic of what you charge, and I'm more than happy to tell you my costs. So for these ones here, this is my candle. This one is 350 grams. I charge $29 for this. And then these ones here that I have here, for these ones, which is my 400 gram ones, I actually charge $35 for these. To be honest, my biggest sellers are the most expensive ones, because they hold more wax and they last longer, and they do look much, much more beautiful. So I'll give you a close-up look, and this is what mine actually look like for a close-up one. So that's my fun party inspired ones, and then these are my standard white ones that I use. It's the same jar, just in white, and then this is what they look like on the inside. So all of my candles aren't plain. They have the plain top, and then I have these little elements, which are the colors you can see in them, and every single one is totally different. So this is my Fiji honeymoon, and you can see how that one is totally different again in that one. You also need to work out whether you want to for your candles, if you want them to be pure soy, do you want to have a paraffin in them, do you want them to be coconut blend? It is honestly a world of discovery, so you really need to do a lot of research. Even now, years in, honestly, I'm always Googling, I'm always watching other candle or soap makers, because you always learn from other people, you know. I definitely don't know everything, and a small disclaimer, everything I'm talking about today is just from my own experience. It definitely doesn't mean I'm right. It's just my own experience. But at the start, I wish I had have done triple the amount of research that I did, because if I had have done that, I really do think I would have saved myself some money. You lose money along the way because you make mistakes. So, but that's a part of business, isn't it? So anyway, that's, you know, just what I can talk about with the materials. So now we'll get on to question number 2. Oh, I forgot. So now, what do you want to sell? So in other words, you know, do you want to sell just candles, or do you want to sell other things that might go with candles? So, you know, you might have a candle business, and for instance, we've got our candles here, and then you might also decide to sell like wax melts like these, or you might sell wax melts that are in, you know, your bubble containers as well. So, which they're called clamshells, the little clear containers. But, you know, there might be other things you want to do. You might want to do a party inspired one. I mean, there's just so many things, honestly. The amount of things that I can sort of touch on, there's just so many. So it's all about learning and, you know, like I said, discovering exactly, you know, what you want to sell and exactly where your company is going to go with it. So work out what you want to sell and what interests you. But to start with, I would suggest doing even just a medium and a large candle. If you just start with that, because it's no good doing 100 different things and then you just find it too overwhelming, because there is a lot to learn about candles. And honestly, the first candle you make will not be the one you sell. Believe me, it won't be. When I first started, my candles were not great. I mean, they had wrinkles on them, they weren't pretty, I was frustrated, and you just got to test and, you know, figure out what works for you and what also works for your business and the products that you use. So, you know, get used to testing, and you know, that does cost money too. So that comes into, like I said, the budgets and everything else. Oh, so now we've talked about what do you want to sell. This question is, who do you want to sell to? So this comes into your target market. You need to look into your target market. So yeah, so do you want to actually sell, you know, to a certain group of people? You know, do you want to sell to people that are vegans? That's, you know, do you want your products to be there, which means they wouldn't have beeswax and things like that in it? Or, you know, do you want your brand to reach a certain target? I mean, you really have to figure that out. So for me, my target market is definitely a younger market. It's, you know, I would say my target market is about a 17-year-old to, I'd say, 35, around that. I mean, of course, I have people either way, but, you know, you kind of have to sit, you know, just to sort of discover exactly where your target market is and who you're going to sell to. So that is really important. You know, you might decide that, hey, I want to sell only to men. I want to just make men's candles. I want them to be really edgy, matte black. I want to do sandalwoods and earthy tones. Or you might say, you know what, I want to do fun, fruity, summery type scents, and that's where I want to stick, and that's where my aim is. And it might be to more younger girls. So, you know, just decide exactly where your market is. But do remember that candles are dangerous, and I always suggest on mine that it is an adult or adult supervision. So I never ever aim my candles or anything to a child. But in saying that, a lot of things like, you know, a unicorn inspired, like these ones here in front of me, are going to be my unicorn inspired ones. But that doesn't mean that a child is going to buy that. I have lots of ladies that love unicorns and mermaids and so on. So like I said, you know, just find out exactly who you're targeting. How do you want your products to look? So how do you want them to look? As I said, you know, you might say, I want something like this, matte black, really cool. Do you want them to be party inspired, like these ones here? And I'll give you a bit of a close-up of these ones. So, you know, do you want them to be fun like that? Do you want them to be botanical like that? You know, do you want them just to be white? So in the background up here, you can see I've got white candles. Do you want them to be more like this, which they're just an average kind of silver type candle? You know, where exactly do you want them, and how do you want each product to look? So these things are really important. And then that comes into, of course, looking at your labels, designing them, and the design is really important, because if you do a hot pink design, you're sort of, you know, cutting out a lot of your market, which I did that at the start. I did really colorful things. Didn't work. Believe me, it didn't work. So, but you learn as you go along. And at the start, when I first started, I really didn't sell a lot of candle products, to be honest. It took time, and the reason that now I sell a lot is I've worked a lot on my promotional side. I've also worked a lot on rebranding myself and branding it to fit my target market, which I didn't understand that enough at the start. So it's definitely a mistake that I made at the start, and you want your brand to be cohesive. So there is no good doing this brand and saying, hey, you know, I want this really cool brand, but then this might be pink, that might be black, that might be purple. That's no good. You need to keep your brand really consistent so that people pick mine up. And the minute people pick my brand up, they know that this circle at the top is my logo, and everything is quite clear and it all is cohesive and all matches. Even down to my soaps, they have the same logo, same branding, and I try and keep it all nice and neat and all of it's, like I said, consistent and matching. So as I said, which, you know, I'll just repeat this because I did write this down earlier. I thought this is really important. So, you know, do you want your products to be edgy? Do you want them to be stylish? Do you want them to be fun and bright? Or do you want them to be, you know, like that really neutral sort of green and textural kind of, you know, look? And I've seen a few candles around at the moment, and they're actually put in either like a sort of ceramic pot or in a cement pot. Another one that I've seen is a textural kind of, it looks like a plant pot, but it's not, it's ceramic. And then that looks really, really cool as well. So then it has that texture in it. Or, you know, do you want it to be white or plain black? I mean, I think it's Memory Candle Co. Theirs is all black, and it's really easy to see. If you guys haven't seen Erica from Memory Candle Co., definitely go and check her out. She's really amazing. I love watching her videos. And but that's one that I would suggest if you're looking at making candles. I'll leave the links for her website as well. Sorry, not her website, her YouTube. Down below, so then that way you'll be able to see it and go and check out her video. She's really good if you want to do candle making. So I just thought I'll pop that in there because she's a really good link for you to have a look at. This one is, do you need a graphic designer? That is really important. I know we all think that we have design skills, but seriously, we don't. I mean, not everyone has design skills. It's really important to realize that you can't wear every hat. You need to sometimes outsource something, and that comes into your budget, doesn't it? It costs money, I know. But for myself, I studied design, so I did have a bit of a design background, but I also did have a graphic designer help me at one stage. I did not keep her, to be honest with you, I didn't keep what she did, but she taught me a lot, and I definitely learned a lot from that. So that would be something that I suggest, you know, going down the avenue and having a look at a designer, and they can help you, you know, with your logos, your branding, and really getting it right from the start. And don't make a mistake I did and spend too much money. You know, you want to make sure that it's going to work for you, don't you? Number 6 is how to pre-launch. When I first started, I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to do a website, go to the market, I'll be fine. No, that didn't work out very fine at all for me at the start. Let's be honest, it did not. It was terrible. But, you know, at the start I thought, hey, this is easy, I can do it. But, you know, you can't. You need to like pre-launch. And basically what you're doing is trying to make the excitement for your business coming up. So that way people see it, they see your business, and then they go, oh, that's so cool. I'm going to watch out for this person. Whether you're going to do a YouTube channel or whether you're just going to, you know, launch it on a website and do markets. Try and do pre-launches. So you can go on Facebook and do pictures and say, hey, we're launching in, you know, 2 months' time. We're going to be a candle supplier. This is what we're going to do. Or we're going to make candles. Whatever you're going to do, start to pre-launch things and get people excited about your brand. Show them who you are. Talk about who you are, who makes it, where it's made, what are the materials, you know, because they are all attractive things. And then, of course, you're launching, you know, once you've done all your pre-launch, then you will launch it and say, hey, on the 1st of July, my website's going to be live. Check us out. Make sure you join us. Make sure you follow, and so on. And that's also, like, for me, for YouTube, YouTube has actually shown people all about me and all about my business. And that's really important because you want people to see what you're doing. You want people to see your products, and you want people to see your brand and see how unique and amazing your product really is. So anyway, that's my suggestion. Definitely do pre-launches and launch. your first sale. Lots of people say to me, how do I know when I'm going to get my first sale, or when is my first sale? We're talking online here. So when you go online, it's really, really important just to not expect too much. It takes a long time to get products, and even still now, there's times that I don't get products bought from my website every day. Yes, sometimes I do get really big orders or a few orders here and there, but sometimes I don't. And honestly, every week it gets better and better, but it takes time. It really does take time. So just like I said, please don't expect too much, because then you'll be really disappointed if it doesn't happen. Also, if you're going to do a market or a farmer's market and so on, you really need to be proactive and really do some research about the market you're going into. Not every market will suit your product. So check them out and see exactly, where your products are going to be and what the product is that you're going to sell and how the market is. So anyway, hopefully there are a few things that have helped you out, and I really do hope it's worked out well, and I will talk to you on the next video. Bye for now. You can come in.